All right. Very good. We are here. We are live. It is Sunday, November 17th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the weekly update. Okay. So, what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. We have respected our north side resistance. We have respected our south side support. And we are just trading within the falling wedge locally for now. Not much has changed. Happened, we had a high side push and a low side push. Anyway, you look at it, the candle from open has moved $30. So nothing crazy. So don't go nuts over it. It's all right. CME did open, futures open a little bit higher than the close, so we could see a potential drop down. Nothing super crazy, but I would expect it to pull down a bit in the next little while. Let's see, low side fill is 84.85. 85.50 was the open, currently trading 85.65. So I would expect that to come down, fill that gap for sure. That's just how these things work. So this is your CME future full chart, right? That's the whole nine right here. That's what's going on. I'm starting to get a little drop down here. And again, nothing crazy, but I would expect that gap to fill today, and I would expect it to fill probably within the next hour. And so far, so good. 84.85 is the target. That's what we got to get down to. Fill that local gap, and then, and then we'll let price decide what it wants to do. Clearly, downside is what it's looking. This does also have plenty of retests, though, on the CME swing fail. Well, I don't really pay too much attention to that. More looking at this right here. Getting down 84.85 down here is well within our range, so not a problem at all. If we do open up at the same level we're at right now, we will be on resistance, literally, right on it. So a push to the downside all the way down to 83.67, 83.65 still keeps us very much in the pattern. Now, the pattern is losing quality on a daily basis, right? These typically like to break between 50 and 75% is where you get your best quality push, whether it's breakout or breakdown. And we are, I don't really want to do math, but I guess we should, right? Just to really get it correct. Let's see here. Let's grab this, and where's the apex here? Guess this would be, I don't know if we want to call that beyond the apex. I think so. We're going to call that the apex. So 26 bars had to be a weird number. That's annoying. Here's the 50% mark. Vertical line on 50. And then if we just take this over here and do that, then that's our 75 mark. Of course, we can't do it, so this would be post 75 right there. All right, so that's the ideal range that you would like a pattern like this to break. The thing about this particular pattern, right, a majority of the hits came in that segment, right? So if you were just go here, you got like a 1, 2, 3. It's like a 3-point pattern. 4 would be right here. So 4-point patterns are good. You'd like to have at least 5, right? 5-point reversal, 5-point continuation, or a 6-point continuation, 4-point continuation, yeah, something like that. All right, so this came from low side, right? So it's technically 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be your 4-point, right? And this would be 4-point continuation up top, or a 5-point reversal down below. All right, we're not on there. We're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 and 10 are on the same candle. So it's, little. There's a lot going on over here, right? Anyway, we are due, right? We're outside of that, and I talk about this all the time. But when you have a like a sideways breakout, that's not good. Like price just kind of like meanders out of here and just like nothing really happens. Nothing's really doing. You sort of, you just eliminate the pattern as a pattern and you leave the trends as potential areas of support resistance. But that's about it, right? I mean, at that point, like the pattern itself is dead. So I'm just saying we're getting to that point where we're going to start calling the pattern dead or very low quality. Let's put it that way. We can absolutely still see a breakout tomorrow or a breakdown tomorrow. And any way you look at it, these levels are relevant for support resistance. It's just that you lose the targeting factor of measuring the mouth and pushing out for a breakout or a breakdown. You lose a lot of that. And that's too bad. Then you rely on some other sources, which you are anyway, but they are nice to have some type of confluence. But yeah, so that's it. Dem Koss, Hang 10, Mark Beavers, let's get it, Zill. Zill's been teasing you, huh? Zill has been teasing you. Zill is, 76, just outside of the entry zone. So, yep. Give it a little time. There's a lot of trades on the boards. NEO, Poly, AMB, STX, OMG, Lisk, Tomo, Zill, ARPA, Beam. Yeah, tons and tons and tons are on the list. Do not overextend yourself. Please, don't do it. Always ask yourself, right? I put this in the morning update. I don't know how many of you guys read it, but always check yourself, right? Always. Ask yourself the very simple question. If all my stops get hit, am I going to be pissed off? Am I going to be mad? Am I going to be angry? Right? Like, am I going to quit trading? Like, the very real possibility of all stops getting hit is real. It does happen. It happens far more often than people want to think. Right? And then when it doesn't happen for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, people get complacent. When they get complacent, they start getting greedy. When they get greedy, they start getting careless. When they start getting careless, they start losing all their money. All right, so do not let that happen to you. All right, just don't overexpose yourself. Take a few trades. There's 10 on the board. You take 3. It's cool. So the 3 you took aren't movers. It's all right. Be patient. Let the trade play out. Okay? If the trade doesn't play out, close the trade. Hopefully you close either slightly in profit or only just barely in loss, nothing that's going to take you out of the game, and then you move on to the next trade. Oh, man, this coffee is delicious. So I think one night or 1 week or 1 month or 1 full year, we'll talk like more about trading psychology. There's a ton of info already in for those that went through the course and stuff. There's a ton of info in there, but I mean, honestly, you could talk trading psychology forever, and risk management. Sounds like a super boring Saturday night, hanging with the boys, talking risk management. But I'll tell you what, it really is, it's one of those things. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good analogy to it, but let's say for runners, right? It's not just the training, right? And getting out there and physically running and jumping hurdles and all that stuff. But the mental desire to have to want to do it on a cold, rainy day. That's the difference. The technique in how to breathe properly, right, while you're running makes a world of difference. How much oxygen actually gets up into your nose, right, and then feeds your blood and then feeds your brain. Those are like underlining things that are extremely important that no one really talks about. right? Like when you were in school and you were taught how to run, you just ran. Like that's just what they told you to do. You from A to B, just get here as fast as you can. I don't care how. They don't teach you anything. So with trading, it's like, well, you just buy here and sell here. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's cool, and you can make a profit that way. That's great. But you're looking for sustainability. You're looking for consistent gains. You know what I mean? Consistently profitable. It's different. All right, anyway, Hi, everyone. Can we check out EOS BTC? Sure. EOS BTC. I'm stuck on the index. All right, let's see. What is EOS doing? Hey, we got the little... Very nice. All right, so EOS had this big, symmetrical triangle here. I didn't love it with all the white space, but whatever. It broke south. It got a retest. It should have pushed further south. It didn't. Not every pattern plays out, and that's fine. No problem. We got stuck underneath. So literally what I just said about how a pattern loses quality, like this is well beyond 75%. So it lost its quality, right? So it's not, it's not a shock that it didn't do what it was supposed to do. The pattern turned into, crap, right? It was exhausted. But it did maintain, right? Hold on to your trend lines because they are important. 1, 2, right? So we ended up using it as a nail, as a head slapper right here. Smashed our head into it, smashed our head into it, broke it, and then broke what? We broke this guy. Perfect. Launch pad up right into resistance. Perfect. Pull back, structure, push back up, couldn't do it, and then broke up again, right? So at that point, we were saying, all right, well, we want to hit that level, whatever it is, 40.22, I guess from up here, right? Okay, so we wanted to hit 40.22, find resistance, come back down to support, buy support, and then push up. So we're still there. We're still there. We did get that, right? We got the resistance. We did push down here. We did make a higher low here. And now we're looking for further upside. So the next big stop, like not a macro view, but just a daily target, what we're looking for is all the way up here, 4,700. I mean, that's the next big move for EOS BTC. USD chart will probably look a little bit different. We can actually slide this over a little. And we'll call that support now. Support. Okay. And we're going to call this guy support as well. I think it's proven its name change. There we go. A little color change. Reflect. We can get rid of this guy for now. We get rid of this awful diamond. And, this is a good level. We're going to hang on to this, actually. I want to get it down to candle close. And then we'll go just a little bit above for some of that resistance. So we are creeping on it. It's okay to hit it and get a little pullback, which is what we already got. So that's okay. Nothing wrong with this. It's still maintaining trend. This is key because it's really the highest in this local range, right? Outside of the high, right? So getting over this level is sort of the one that's okay, yes, now we have an official next target, where really until we get over it, it's just a failed rally and then a double top, right? So we are looking to get over that. That is pretty important. We get over that, and then I feel much better about getting up to 47. So, we got one more level to get over, no big deal. But everything looks healthy. The trend is healthy. We're okay. We are making higher highs. We are making higher lows. As far as the pullbacks, these are healthy pullbacks. That's a healthy pullback. Everything's good here. EOS looks good. All right, let's see. Crypto J also, is the market moving slow because the BTC seems a lot of alts are stagnant, just not moving much? It's supposed to be the opposite, Crypto J. When Bitcoin does go sideways, that is usually the trigger point for alts. There's two things that need to happen, right? Bitcoin's got to break through. I don't care who you are and what you see on your chart. Like, this trend is holding price down. Period. That cannot be disputed. All right? And this is holding price up. Period. That cannot be disputed. Okay? So we're not the only ones looking at those levels. There's a lot of people that refuse to trade. Right? No trade zone until Bitcoin either breaks and closes above this level or breaks and closes below this level. And the reason is what we started out talking when we first hopped on is if all your stops get hit, right, and a big move up or a big move down would probably stop out everybody in just about every trade. All right? Not necessarily our trades, I'm saying in general. Right? Because it's a firestorm. It's a total disaster. And then you have, your BTC pairs can't keep up with Bitcoin because Bitcoin's pumping, right? So you get those big, you get those waves, or you can watch the candles, right? They'll zoom up, pull back, zoom up, pull back, zoom up, pull back, zoom up, pull back, hesitate for a minute, push back up, pull back. You know what I mean? And every time you do that, you're outperforming the alt that you're trading against. So on the chart, right, it looks like, your alt is dumping. In essence, your altcoin is not doing anything, right? It's just not keeping up with Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin is outperforming it. The Satoshi value is now worth more than it was a second ago. So if 100 million Satoshis equals 1 Bitcoin, right, and the value of the overall Satoshi goes up, right, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, whatever, right, that means that the alt, if nothing happens to the alt, it's going to appear like it's losing value. It's not. It's just holding. And that's especially true on the USD charts. Right, USD, like a USD pair, right, could not do anything. It could just sit at whatever, $10, right? And Bitcoin going up or down, right, can affect what the BTC pair will look like, and the USD pair is just going to kind of sit there, right? Because nothing really changed. Nothing changed on BNB USD. I think we talked about this last night, actually, or the night before. So anyway, make a long story short, no, alts like to move when Bitcoin's sideways. All right, that's a general statement. Usually Bitcoin goes up, alts go down. Bitcoin goes down, alts go down. Bitcoin goes sideways, alts go up. But alts go up when this goes down. So when you have Bitcoin sideways, not moving, stuck in a range, and Bitcoin dominance goes down, that's when we see alts really push, outside of a few outliers that are just going to, throw you 30% just because they feel like it. Outside of those, the general market will move when dominance goes down and Bitcoin sideways. That's a clear indication that people are selling their Bitcoin pairs to buy altcoins, right? Basically, all the Bitcoin in the world, put it this way, if all the Bitcoin in the world, all of it, all the tradable Bitcoin in the world was just sitting in books, altcoin books, right? Nothing would change until the transaction took place. So just picture 4,000 assets and all these buy orders getting triggered. What does that do? Right? It looks like Bitcoin's got a flash crash, but nothing happens to Bitcoin, right? Right? The USD value is the same, but the dominance would go down. right? Because if you're not holding Bitcoin because you just bought NEO, well, now you're holding NEO, right? So that money is no longer dedicated to a Bitcoin asset; it's dedicated to a NEO asset, right? So more money ends up becoming, and you push that money around, right? Which then in turn would have to devalue Bitcoin, right? It's a whole thing. Yeah, so we are looking for dominance to drop. We are looking for Bitcoin to make a move up or down. But this is essentially a no trade zone for a lot of people. I mean, this zone right here is just not going to exhaust itself, right? And this isn't a horizontal zone. That's the important thing to remember here. We've broken all those, right? Everybody should be bearish based off of horizontal support resistance, minus this support right here, which is kind of propping things up, okay? But the key levels have been broken. But this isn't a horizontal range. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a range within, right? Like reverse megaphone, pitch down. If you want to call it a triangle, go ahead. But it's not. What it is a falling wedge. That's all it is. And to clarify things even more, even if you didn't care about the pattern, it wouldn't make any difference. This is a support zone. This is a support level. Just because it's not horizontal certainly doesn't make it irrelevant, right? And this is a resistance zone. This is a resistance level, right? The fact of the matter is, let's count the candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 candles, all right? 13, 12, 11, okay? 3 candles out of 14 have not used this trend as resistance. That's it. All right, that speaks volumes, right? It's being respected for a reason. This isn't just by accident that price just happens to only get to that level and then come down. People are looking at that level and they're selling it. All right? Scalpers, intradays, they short this level all day long. They just wait for price to get to it and they short it. Whether they're going down 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever their target is, that's up to them. Same thing with the support. All right, starting from midpoint, right? Because you got all that white noise. Starting from midpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 candles. How many didn't come down? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. So that means 6 candles have used this support level as support successfully. Right? Price came down, pull back up. Price came down, pull back up. Price comes down, pull back up. Price comes down, pull back up. Closed right on top of it. Came down, pull back up. Came down, pull back up. Every time. Right? So that's what makes it a no trade zone for a lot of traders. So who's trading now? Right? Who's trading this? There's traders out there that'll trade it. Scalpers will trade it for sure. Intraday traders will trade it. Ranged out traders will trade it. Pattern traders are waiting, right? They're waiting, okay? More conservative traders are waiting. This is a death trap, long and short, okay? Until you have something to actually trade, why are you trading this? Because I would have asked you yesterday, why would you trade that? It did nothing. It did nothing, right? Now, I understand if you were going to trade that long because of support, right? And you would have gotten this. But it would have been a small trade, right? Because you still have overhead resistance. You don't want to buy resistance. You don't want to sell support. Okay. Very nice. Tobias Sund. Howdy, gents. MMLLBTCSTX. Thanks. Okay. All right. Hold on. BTC. So STX BTC. You got me all confused here. Like, what? All right. Now, there's not going to be a ton of history on here, so, we already know that. Let's see. where are we currently at here? 2095. We're going to have to put like a 4-hour chart up. See if there's any major levels here we can see on the daily. This is really nothing major. Chart that has no history, but let's take a look nonetheless. Hold that line here. Well, okay, so we got a couple levels. Something like that. Jeez, this thing's a monster. What the hell? Okay. Let's see. What's the first target at? 23. 23. Where's 23 at? Well, we might as well go to the 4 now. Let's just dump one of these guys on real quick. Okay, so let's take a look. Currently pushing for a retest on the downside. Maintaining resistance up top. Push, one push, drop. The support levels hold. So we could see down to 2060-ish. Looks like stops at 2020, so we got room. We got room for that to come down. Now, if we have inner lane, one, two touches. This could be another level we creep into eventually. Back up like so. Okay. And then what's our downside here? One. Almost a double bottom. Very close. I'll mark that. Yeah, I'll mark that. All right, so STX. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, so you're looking for a reversal. That's how this trade's set up. It's a reversal trade, banking off, double bottom with the push to the high side. 1, 2, so one failed rally, second rally up, right? You have this trend over here. Let me paint that out for you like that. Okay, so once you broke that level, that was a time to buy. So that's like the push level right here. And then you creeped up. This part failed. You would have liked to break and close up over that. Couldn't quite make it happen, so drop back down, found resistance back at previous structure, and now pulling back now again. I'd imagine this is going to pull back to 2063. Looks good. We could see a wick that drops even lower down. Let's see. Stop is at 2020, so, you know, it's tight. It's tight. It is tight for sure. Now, if we hold the line, you'd be looking at, well, tomorrow, are we in our 4? No, that closes in a minute. So the next candle, the low, you'd be looking at 2066 to find support on this lower trend. Find support on the lower trend, that's good. That's a flip from here, right? So you got your kind of like an intra trend, I guess you'd call it. So your overall high side trend is already being accounted for, but low side trend, you can see this, and this, right? That all forms. You could take this over here and do something like that. Try to get yourself like a perspective of, you know, what's going on with like a parallel channel, but we don't really need that right now. So I'd be looking at that right there. If you don't find support there, come back down to the support area, but the support area can go all the way down to 2021 in order to satisfy like a triple bottom. So it's got some work to do for sure. No doubt about that. Okay, what else we got here? Let's see. Personally love the psychology, watched a lot of Mark Douglas, read the book, changed the way I viewed things in trading. Yeah, it's, I mean, like I said, you could talk about it forever. It is super important. It really is. It's a matter of like kind of making a lot of mistakes yourself, I feel like, and then learning from those mistakes. But then going back and realizing that, like, hey, it's not as abnormal as it sounds. Like, that's totally normal, right? So then how you deal with it makes all the difference in the world. It's the same deal with, like, you make a mistake, and then you repeat the mistake, and then you repeat the mistake again and again and again and again and again, right? There's no value in making that mistake. The value in making the mistake is actually when you turn the leaf, realize that it was a mistake, and figure out a way to not do it again, right? That's the real, like, that's the value out of it, right? That's the golden ticket, because then now all of a sudden it's one less thing that you'll do. So it's like when you're looking for confluence on a chart. It's like one more thing to say, hey, bias long, hey, bias long, hey, bias long. Got one more thing to check off the box, say, all right, well, I'm going to make sure I definitely don't do that, because that got me burned 5 times in a row, right? I'll never do that again. All right, so we close the daily candle out. Open the candle up at 84.85, hit a high of 86.31, a low down to 83.75, close it out 84.99. So for a substantial gain of $14.68 on the stamp chart, or 0.17%. So we did open right on resistance. Oh, God, gross. I want to double check. Let's scope our CME real quick here. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Just a little bit to go. A little bit to go, and we'll kill that gap. All right, what did dominance do at the end? All right, just another retest of the bottom side of range. Nothing crazy there. We are going to open lower, so that's good. Are still trying to find 66 on the map. Let's go hit the weekly real quick. Let me see where volume died off at. Ooh, pretty bad. Yeah, volume's bad. Volume's just real bad. All right, Bitcoin weekly macro views. Macro views. What do we got? Well, we got a long-term trend over here. Now, I do apologize. It's Coinbase chart and not my stamp chart, but everything is currently occupied. It's just a lot of deleting and redrawing. So this is fine. You know, I don't think we need to see past July 2015. 4 years, I think we're okay. We could deal with that. Anyway, long-term trend line here. Bang, 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 bang. Holding up pretty good. The one hesitation on the weekly chart that happened when we dropped down to our 2018 low, smashed it right there. So this is a good trend, right? I like the trend. Trend is good. What happened? Well, we came down. We found support, right? We flipped it. Ended up losing it, come back. We got the retest right here. Got our 31.22, whatever chart you're on, 31.22 on Stamp. It's our low here, 31.28 on Coinbase. Price came back up, did not quite hit it. But from a weekly perspective, we could say that that's good enough, right? Rejection, that's fine. Price ended up working its way up, but in a very, very specific way. So that became a trend, and it's important right here. All right, anyway, broke up out of that nonsense, went sideways again on historical levels right here, ended up pushing back, broke through that trend, very nice, never got a retest, pushed back up, made the high over at 14, came back down, did not find support on trend. Why? Well, because we probably never retested it. Dropped back down through it, pushed back up, tried to retest twice, couldn't quite make it, ended up hitting a low side just above this trend line, pushed back up, got resistance where? Well, right on that same trend line again, and then 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row, pulling back. Okay, so what does it all mean? Well, the larger scale structure is just showing a failed rally, right? You have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high, so you're starting to build a trend. So what happens after you paint a lower high, or you expect a lower low? So if I told you like, oh, lower low around 2K, people would probably freak out. So I'm not going to do that. All right, but we do have high, low, lower high. So on the interim, on the short scale, right, we are very much trying to build a downtrend. But just zoom out a little bit and you'll see, well, wait a second. We got a low, a high, a higher low. Okay, not a big deal. Lower high, failed, swing fail, looking for the rally to pull back and through. So that just makes this like a hiccup inside of a trend. So you have a trend, macro trend, a micro trend, right? You got all these different trends. You get these intra-trends, trends inside of trends. And that's where like Elliott stuff comes in, where you have like waves inside of waves, inside of waves, inside of waves, and you don't know whether to grab the longboard or not. You just don't know what the hell is going on. So all things considered here, this resistance is strong, right? We have a level here that's been very well respected. We do have the drop out from the bottom. We got a lower test, which did two things. Found support on this local trend here, as well as weekly support levels here, right? So pretty good. 73.92, got it, nabbed it, all good. Now, the cool thing about this, for those who love their fibs, low side, high side, pull that thing back, slate 1-0, bang, and then we'll just rip this puppy across. Let's try like 260, perfect. 618 touch, not a touch, so close. 72.31 for 618. Our low on the candle was 72.96, so really close enough. We're on a weekly chart, guys. All right, take it easy. So that in and of itself is pretty amazing. But then we do this. We grab our high, we grab our low, right, and then we pull that thing back out and check that out. What? Resistance at the 618? What? Stop that. So you have a high, low 618. You have a low, high 618. I'm telling you, Bitcoin loves 618. All right. Super cool. Love the weekly chart. Tons of respect. Now on the weekly chart, you don't nitpick dollars and pennies. You just go by like cushioned zones, $50, $100. I mean, come on, dude, we're on a weekly chart. All that being said, that drop 6-1 is perfect. This drop 6-1 is perfect. So we're starting to build something here. I know. We'll talk about that another day. So all things considered, this is a much stronger support level than I think a lot of people give credit for, right? This is a very strong level down here. That's a 618 on a major low. That's a 2018 low. Well, wait a second, Coinbase. Yeah, 17. That was close. So a yearly low and currently a yearly high is a big deal. 618 is a big deal. All right, so anyway, that being said, this intra level over here, oof. Now we could go down right here. So let me zoom in on that. So a weekly chart, you see the flip? I'll paint it out for you. You could have a flip right here. All right. Now I know we hit the wick. I got it. I get it. It's cool. But you know what? We lost this level. All right. So you're looking at the next level here, guys. And that's right there. So next level down, technically on the weekly, you're looking at the close of 82.82 is what you'd be looking for. 82.82 would get you down there. Now, as crazy as it sounds, swing fail, Coinbase, drop down to the weekly on the new week, 82.88 would be your spot. All right. So kind of a big deal. Lots of cool things are happening here. Now, if we do lose that, which of course we can, right? Obviously, the overall trend local is down. Okay, no one can dispute the high, the lower, the low, the lower high, the lower low, the lower high. Okay, we're well established that we're in a local downtrend. So any trade long is an inherently risky trade, the counter trend trade. So position size would be extremely important on something like that. All right, but that's the weekly view looks okay. I could absolutely see a drop down to 82.88, 82.12, 82.82 in that zone, and then the push up. I want to see a high side push, 87.88. I'd like to get back to that 88.02 level, and ideally, right, we got one large, three back. It's time. One large, three back. One large, right? One large, three back, one large. That's a pattern. Three down. All right? So we get this push up. I expect to see somewhere around 10K by the end of the week. Push side, high. Low side drop. Oof. Low side drop probably somewhere around 68 to 7. And that would be working off of these trends. Where are you? There you are. These trends over here. It might be a little bit different because we're on Coinbase. But let's see. Weekly low, 67.70. So ballpark figure. And that would be riding off of this support leg. Support. See, now that didn't touch. On Stamp it did. But whatever. Minor differences, nothing crazy. Okay? Cool? Crypto J, thanks for that explanation. Makes sense. Do you guys cover harmonics or popular patterns? It's my first day. I'm the new guy. Whoa, everybody, stop for a second. Stop. Everybody stop. Let's say hi to Crypto J. Hold on, buddy. We're getting there. Bang. How about that? Hello. Hey, it's nice to have you here. Yes, we are. You just missed the intro. We covered the intro to harmonics last week. Before that, we covered ABCD. So we're sort of going in order here. ABCD, then intro to harmonics, and then starting, probably tomorrow, we got a bunch to look at. So we're going to take a look at 6 harmonic patterns. So we'll cover Gartley, crab, shark, cipher, bat, and butterfly. And then we'll sort of see where it goes. Like if we're going to talk about, 3 down and 5-0 and all those fun little things afterwards. We'll see. We'll see. It's kind of like an open platform, just trying to not confuse people. So, if we spend 3 days on one pattern, then so be it. It is what it is, right? Whatever, however long it takes. One of the worst things you could do in any market when it comes to trading is over-learning things you don't understand, right? Like, spend the time to learn it, and then move on, right? That's from experience. I mean, I've learned, a dozen things all at the same time, and it was just a waste of time. I had to go back and learn each one individually, which then took more time. Right? So it's not worth it. You learn it, you know it, you practice it, you implement it, and then you move on, right? You just add that to your toolbox and then you roll, with something else. And that's fine. And if you want to take a break in between learning, that's fine too. I've held off on Elliott because I understand how long it will take and the time consumption that I would need, and I just don't have it right now. So I just refuse to even attempt to learn anything more than the basics on it because I can't devote, it needs time devotion, and I just can't devote it. All right, Bitcoin is dropping a little bit, which is probably good for CMEs. Not yet, so close. Okay, don't worry. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. You could have taken that short. All right. How does Vet BTC look if you have time? Nasser, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Vet BTC. No, we don't have time, but we will for you. Nasser. All right, let's see. Vet BTC, how's it look? It's approaching the 5. It's approaching the 5. Okay, hasn't quite made it. Had a big, like, so when I see this, to me, that's just failed. That's just a fail, right? Let me get rid of that. I just want this. I just want this. And I just want to do that. What? No. No. Stop that. Stop. There we go. Okay. So when I see like a huge candle up and a huge candle down, or a huge candle down and a huge candle up, I call that a false break. So I'm just not interested in that. More interested in the next candle and what it does. Does it continue the trend, the preceding trend, or not? And it did. So I'm okay with this. Vet's like looking pretty bananas right about now. So all of this that's happening is really good. It's all happening on dailies. And I mean, you're pushing 9%, 18%, 9% again, like 15%. Like, these are amazing gains. Expect heavy resistance at the 5, if not just before it, for everyone front running it. When it does, if it does get tired and exhausted, I'm not so sure about that 382. This thing might be coming back down to 236. So if it does, I'd be looking at buying, that level right here, something in that ballpark. But for now, right, just continue to play the trend. If it's gonna push up and pull back, this is okay. Next target level is going to be the 5. Right after that, 618. Now, if it does just have a catalyst and smashes through the 5, 2 to 6, still expect the 618 to find resistance, right, for sure. Okay. Let's see. What is 618? Why is it important? Thank you, Daniel. 618 is debatably the most important Fibonacci level. So if you look at this scale, so let me get rid of these extensions. So from scale, just from, high, this, right, to low, which is right here, we use that whole range and we apply a scale from 0 to 100. Essentially, you have a 1, which is like, this is where you started. Then you have a 0, which means you went from 1 to 0. So you want to get it back, right? You want to get back to 100%. So when you push up to something like the 236, what you're saying is you've regained 23.6% from what you've lost, right? From 1 to 0. The 618 is extremely important because the 618 is the first primary number that you get when you go through the Fibonacci sequence. And the Fibonacci sequence is, 0, 1, 1. Well, I mean, we'll go through it all again another day. But the Fibonacci sequence is just an extremely interesting set of numbers, and then rules within those numbers based off of the placement from each other. So let's say you have a sequence of 5 numbers. And you take the 5th number and you divide it by the 4th number, or you take the 5th number and you divide it by the 3rd number, right? That would be 2 degrees. Take the 5th number, divide it by the 2nd number, that would be 3 degrees. The 618 is like the first degree primary number is what you get when you start playing around with the Fibonacci sequence. So to take the whole sequence and to use it for trading, we have to lock it into a scale of 0 to 1. And the 618 or the 1618, which would be the extension of, those are considered the golden ratio, right? The golden ratio itself is 1.618. And that's something that you'll see in like furniture. You'll see it in pyramids. You'll see it in flowers. You'll see it in the eyeballs of bees. You see it in our DNA. I mean, it's literally everywhere in the world. And that is why it's extremely important. So within the scale, the 618 is the most important. Outside of the scale, the extensions, the 1618 is the most important. And in trading, we use those levels and targets for support resistance, as well as a 236 and a 382, which are like secondary and seconds and thirds into the scale. 706 is not a technical Fibonacci level. The 5, which is the 50%, is not a technical Fibonacci level, but we use them on our Fibonacci scale anyway because they're respected in crypto. Especially the 5 and the 706. 786, 886, you can get those numbers or the derivative of those numbers, but you have to do some like fancy math work in order to get to them. So they're not as primary as something like a 618 or a 382 or a 236, but they are extremely important, and we use them for levels of support and resistance or target levels to take profits. Cool? I feel like you got that. Yeah. All right. Let's scope out a few things that we want to look at, right? As always, we want to take a look at SPY. So what is SPY doing? SPY is the S&P 500 index. Clearly, there's just a ton of information on this chart. So I'm going to pull up the weekly chart, and I want to show you the bigger picture of something that I'm looking at here. So SPY itself... All right, so SPY itself is making all-time highs. Yep. So if you're familiar with the traditional market, you're like, oh, it's crazy. This is the 1/10. That's SPY. SPY is like not trading, at 3,100. It trades at 311. And this allows you to kind of like get in, get out. Very good for day traders, options traders, the whole 9 yards. So what we could see here, right? It's not a parallel. It looked like it was parallel. It's not. It's actually a rising wedge. Broke where? North to the high side. So I'm kind of expecting a pullback this week coming. So SPY to drop. I know, break a lot of hearts here. But if SPY does drop to 307, that would be an ideal buying time, because I'm actually looking all the way up here at 331 for SPY. I know it sounds crazy, but the thing is, look at this thing. It is a tank. SPY is cruising. SPY is cruising and respecting levels. So this is why we use extensions. So 1-to-1, right? We cleared way the hell back here. And this is from the 2008 crash, guys. That's where I'm pulling these levels from. But look how relevant they are. 2618. Held the whole thing down. Look at that. Rocked it. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. 5, 6 on the comeback. Finally broke after another week sitting in resistance. This whole thing is angled up until what? Until we get here. Flat lines. Why? 2618. Bang. Perfect target. 36. Next stop. 36 is what? It's also the 26 to this local drop. Amazing. I know. I love this stuff. So looking at 26 totally, right? But that can be very far away, and we could drop well before we ever hit a 26. So, but I am looking at the 16 off this move. I really am. I could probably tighten this up a little bit. I guess I had that on the daily, but whatever. It is what it is. It's fine, and that's what we're looking for. So I think this will be good for SPY, but I am kind of expecting a little bit of a drawdown, kind of get that retest down here, and then a push up. So we'll see how the week plays out. Let's see. Dow Jones Industrial Average, or the DJI. All right, DJI, Dow Jones. What is this? Bang, bang, bang. What is this? Push. Break. Break and close above. Launchpad. So it is a little bit different in SPY because this broke and closed a week prior. Launchpad up. So we're looking at continuation here to the upside for the Dow Jones. So Dow Jones looking pretty good, all things considered. And I think I have, what do I got on here? Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at silver, and then we can take a look at gold. So silver had a big drop down, right? We saw that 2 weeks ago. Big push to the downside. But what was it? Check this out. Retest. Bang, bang, boom. Retest. Found support. Week up. Next week. Looking good. Holding the 5 currently at the moment, right? So we don't need these extensions down here, but whatever, it's fine. So we're looking at this pullback here, right? Pullback to the 5 right now, finding resistance. Now, we could have came all the way down to the 618, right, on the pullback, but we didn't. Few things happened here. One, take a look at this level on the high side previous. Perfect. Perfect. Weekly high ended up providing a weekly low. Perfect. Right? Good stuff. So there's no real reason to come down to the 618. We're cool here, but we do have to get up over to 5. Get up over to 5, and then we can start playing these levels again. We got tons and tons and tons of levels, right? Silver's a bit of a disaster. So we'll have to watch that as the week unfolds. And gold spot to wrap up the metals and the fun stuff in the traditional markets. So gold had a huge run, decent pull, huge run, bigger pull. But look at where that pull is. Look at this. Bang. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Right? So again, weekly, high side provides low side. Right? Now, which high do you take? You could have taken the highest. That's fine. That's still a great entry. All right? Still a great entry. Now, this broke, again, high side break, but it found no support. Whereas in, what was it, SPY or DJI? I can't even remember. I think it was Dow Jones did. Resistance level is heavy, 1515. All right? Coming back up there is going to be a struggle. And this little trend right here, don't let that guy fool you, right? This could be a break and close below, retest level, push lower, all right? So when we get up to that level, if it happens this week, you're looking at 1484. When we get up to that level, expect some fireworks. If we break it, close it clear on the daily, I would feel a lot better. But we can, there is room for this thing to just dump. 618 down here. All right, push level would get you somewhere in structure zone, somewhere in the 1329 zone, right? So big dump. All right, not to mention this area of accumulation never really came back to retest it. So that's another obvious area that we could be coming back to, somewhere around 1424. All right, so a lot of things happening there. All right, let's see. Could I check MGI? Yeah, sure. Yeah, oof. Jesus. MGI looks terrible. Let's see. I'm going to have to do something here real quick. Let's just get a few levels on. Do this quick just to get a couple levels here. Sort of see what the macro looks like. Get over there. Get over there. Huh. What? Averix? No. All right. Where was I here? Man, this thing's kind of just, it's a little ugly. I'm going to hold off on that second horizontal. I don't like it. Don't like it. That's an interesting, yeah, I like that. Don't know if I love it. I like that a little more. Let's see. Respect, respect, respect. Got room. Drop, pull, drop. So 1, 2, 3. It's a big drop down. Found support here. That's interesting. Oof. Holy. Forget that. Damn. 1, 2. 1, 1. No. Nothing really doing there. Let's see, that was the first big move, second big move. Then you had the third big move. Still really nothing doing there. All right. See, I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. Down, 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 down. That's okay. That's a decent level. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so I mean, like, obvious, action is happening right here for sure. This low level kind of wonky support, over here is provided support here. So that's an interesting sort of like flip level, intra level. This big drop had support, had a good bounce, but that's clear dead cat action right there. So that's not really great. Now we could do this here, and what we're looking for is that high and then the drop down. So let's go back over here and let's move this over a scotch. That's what they're calling it these days. Just move it over a scotch. That'll be good. Okay, so the weekly. Oh man, so the weekly came all the way up to the 236 and just face planted. It's brutal. So now I want to see what this is. Oh man, below a 7.8. That's disgusting. Oof. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, like for stocks, that's traditional market. That's horrific. All right, so let's see. Support zone here. Violated, but yeah, kind of held, but it did break below it. That's too bad. This support level here, it's been validated. That's okay. That one drawdown is good. All right, so let me put this level on over here, and then we'll hop into the daily chart. Yeah, let me see what the daily looks like first. All right, so yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, so big bounce down. Let me actually put the daily, not the 24. Let's see. So big bounce down, big push, got the rejection on the rejection level, found support below it. So we'll hang on to that support for now. Let's see what kind of action we got in here. You got big time gaps. I mean, this is like embarrassing. Let's see. So without doing like the whole gap thing, we'll just do easy gaps right now. Obvious, something like that. We'll say we cleared a little bit with that wick. So that's a target zone downstairs for sure. Upstairs, you certainly got these little mini gap levels up here. So these would want to be satisfied. Right, and then you got another one right here. Something like that. These are just obvious gap levels. So, like stocks, obviously they could sort of do whatever the hell they want. But most of them do get filled. Okay. Obvious overhead resistance. Downstairs, I'm probably not going to do much with this just yet. I'll throw this on here, but it's a clear break below. And then I would look for this resistance level to hold. If it does hold, then I'd be looking at filling these gaps down here first before coming back up. Now, let's see. They had an earnings on what? Halloween, so they got a while before the next earnings, be another 3 months. So, yeah, unless there's some like crazy FA going on with MoneyGram, I would lean towards the downside. All right? Sound good? Excellent. All right, so let's just check this out before we wrap things up and see what we got here. Anything to talk about? Anything going on? Anything. Okay, we did get a push to the downside. Very nice. What do we got here? Let's see. The low was 84.52. You know what that means. Filled it. Delete. Okay. So, yeah, very good. That was a short you could have taken had you wanted to. I do still have to go back and get like the actual numbers, but I'm telling you, it's like well over 90% of the time in that ballpark. It is filled the very next candle. So that's awesome. All right, so local CME gaps are filled. Local. All right, next gap is down at, it's low, 72, 77. If we drop pattern down, right, if we drop the whole pattern down, like so. What the hell is this? What? Oh, that's NAS. Is that NAS? Well, who's that? I think that was Nasser. Making me draw these weird lines. So if we go pattern low, like if it hit today, right, you'd be that like 68 and change. So that would clearly fulfill that lower one. But there's a ton of gaps on here. Like that's only what you see. There's all those. Are we going to fill all those? Probably not. But it's nice to know they're there. Okay. Local stuff we like to get the hell out of the way now. We do still have some high sides, mid sides over here, 10-1. And then we got some stuff at like 12. And then we got the 72. But there is something down here, 63. Another one down here like 61. So, we'll play those. We'll play those as they come. That's all. All right. That will wrap it up for the night or for the week or however you want to put it. So that's it. Enjoy the rest of the week coming up. Don't overextend yourself on trades, please. Put a little responsibility in there. Make sure you're booking those profits and then moving stops up as they become relevant. All right. Until then, I want to see you guys on the exchanges and happy trading.